Well, the United States just gave Hungary's Viktor Orban a 1-year hall pass when it comes to Russian sanctions on Russian gas and oil. If you don't know, today the Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban came to the United States and met with Donald Trump in the Oval Office. You probably didn't hear about this mostly because of the government shutdown and the flights being mixed up and everything else that's going on with SNAP. And the big thing that Donald Trump is doing right now is trying to punish Russia and put pressure on them by saying to anyone who's buying Russian gas and oil, don't do that because we're going to put sanctions on you, and we're already putting sanctions on Russia. This is so that we could pressure Russia into actually coming and negotiating, which they still kind of refuse to do. But if you take their money, then maybe they'll come to the table. And well, if you don't know anything about Hungary, about 75% of their gas comes from Russia, and about 80% of their oil comes from Russia, meaning that they're a massive customer of Russia, which does make sense because, well, Viktor Orban is Putin's kind of bestie here. And by giving Viktor Orban an extension, that means that we are still giving Russia money. Europe is still somehow giving Russia money, something that we're trying to avoid. Now, there is one thing that is happening here, which a lot of people are a little upset about, which is one of the maybe just rules in all of this is that, yes, they get 1 year to kind of wean their ways off, or maybe not even that, maybe just to continue what they're doing and then maybe redress it in a year. But one of the stipulations is that they need to buy at least $600 million worth of liquefied natural gas from the United States. They did briefly talk about Russia's war in Ukraine, in which Trump said that Russia just doesn't want to stop. And then when asked if Ukraine could win, Orban said a miracle can happen. Once again, friends, this is someone who is, this guy is pro-Russian all the way. He still sends money to Russia so they could buy weapons used in Ukraine. He tries to stop funding to go through NATO and the EU so that way, Ukraine doesn't get as much weapons. And then he opposes everything that Ukraine wants to do. But there's one thing I want you to take away from this story, which is the fact that Donald Trump is showing that he's still willing to cut ties with Moscow allies if it fits his strategy, meaning if the United States makes some money on the back end of it. And for Europe, that's kind of like a red flag because it makes it look like America's energy diplomacy is kind of their more important stance in actually ending the war in Ukraine. But let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. I'll be sure to keep you updated, so please do share my videos and follow me for more.